on to do a Q&A to reconnect with all of my people. And I know that it's late, and I was supposed to be on here a while ago. And, yeah, we just got super delayed finishing up calls. It's been super busy. Like, I feel like I'm always kind of busy, but it feels like it's insanely busy these days. It's just been so incredibly, like, dealing with so much going on, which I'm not complaining about. It's just been really busy. And always talking to people, helping people. You cannot hear me very well. Well, welcome to Instagram. How about that? Instagram welcomes us with the inability for people to hear us well. How about now? Let me know whether you can hear me. You can barely hear me, and it sounds fuzzy. Hard to hear me. Sound is not good. I am sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Dang, Instagram, the volume jacked again. Absolutely. So it's hard to hear. Like, I am going all the way here. Hang on one second. Okay. A little better? Sounds muffled. Okay. Like, you sound like a finger rubbing against the microphone. How about right now, guys? How about right now? Sounds like an old movie projector. Low, but we can hear you. Okay. It will get better soon like it usually does. Drindy, yeah, it's healing. Thank you for reminding me. It does get better a few minutes into the call, right? So let's just keep hoping that it gets better soon. I'm gonna try something. Hey, sweetheart, can you go grab my headphones? The ones without the jack, the normal ones over there. MD with Spirit. Nice to see you here. I'm gonna try Dr. Jen PNC. Nice to see you. Love to see you on Instagram, but not super. But we'll get used to it. But yeah, that's the whole reason I stopped even coming on Instagram is because of this stupid sound situation. So it's just annoying me. So I'm gonna put in my headphones. Let me know if this makes a difference. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Is this any better? Is this any better? Can you hear me better? Let me know. I put the headphones in. You got the IQ Air, Nicolene? I'm so glad. It's awesome. You can hear me better? Is that better? Woohoo! Yay! I am not on YouTube. I am only on Instagram right now. The sound got better. Give me a high five. Thank you for helping me with that. My little one's right here. She wants to say hi to all of you. Before I went on, she said, Mama, can I say hi to everybody? So here she is. Say hi.
Hi.
Oh my gosh. Have you missed Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I have too. I've missed coming on live and talking to people. Crystal clear. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good to know that we resolved that problem. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. So shall we Q&A? Shall we Q&A? I've got all these questions from the weekend. Christy says, hi, Malika. Jean Sherry said it improved just before you put the headphones in, but this is fine. So good to know, Jean. Thanks for letting me know. She's so big and beautiful. She is. She's my gorgeous little girl. And so do you have a message for people? Do you want to say something to them? Do you want to tell them maybe what you've done in the last 1 week?
Today is the last day of the 369 cleanse for me.
And which cleanse did you do?
Original.
She did the original 369 cleanse, and today is your juice day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how did that go for you today?
It was actually really easy.
Yeah? So what juices did you have today?
I had apple, cucumber, orange juice, and celery juice.
And did you enjoy them?
Some of them.
Some of them? Which is your favorite one?
Orange juice.
Oh my gosh. So you're doing so well. Make sure that you drink something before you go to bed. And I love that you're sharing inspiration with people who are inspired. Look at what people are saying. They're inspired by you to keep working on their health, right? Because it's so important to do it from this age all the way until you're older too. Never stop taking care of your health. I'm so proud of you. All right, so that's her message. She wanted to share. I'm also on day 9. I did the advanced 369. And we did it as a family, and it was definitely, it took a minute for us to get our heads around it and get going with it and get into a stride with it. But we got there. So I'm super grateful that the girls, 2 of the girls did it with me, and then we're going to do another 2 of them. Actually, the whole family's probably going to do it later in July. So I'll share more about that. It's just been hard to get on Instagram. It's been busy. I haven't been live. I haven't been like doing stories and stuff because it's just been busy for us. You know, it's been really a lot of things going on with the kids. It's taken my focus to really spend time on their stuff, spending more time with them. Although I'd love to spend more time with them, I don't get as much time as I'd like to spend with them. Hopefully in the next few weeks I'll get more time with them and connect with them. And it's just like been, whoa, like, oh my gosh. Kimberly, yes, we did the 369, and my daughter right here, she did the 369 original cleanse. Today is day 9, and she really rocked it. I mean, they really rocked it. I'm so proud of them. So, yeah, I know you guys sent tons and tons of questions, as you always do. So I'm going to start looking at some of them. If you have a question for me, go ahead and post it in the chat here. Fit for Rose says, lately I've been incorporating my something and macadamia nuts to my diet. Is this okay? Yeah, I mean, you've seen what Medical Medium says about macadamia nuts. They have health benefits, especially for a lot of the nuts and seeds he talks about in smaller amounts, in reasonable amounts. Like, I mean, like not overdoing it, have a lot of health benefits. So if you have not looked up, I think Anthony has blogs written about the benefits of cashews, hemp seeds, I think chia seeds, macadamia nuts, he says, are a rich source of energy and are packed with heart-healthy monounsaturated fatty acids. But you have to know that while these foods have fatty acids and some fat in them, that they also have carbohydrate in them too. So, yeah, it's really cool that you're incorporating that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So, MD with Spirit says, my shoes are okay if gluten-free. Oh, what about dairy-free, Dr. Fan? Don't they have to be dairy-free too? And what about egg-free? Elevated Biotics Gardening Club. I did the Advanced 369 for 3 months, and when reintroducing fats, I got gallbladder attacks. Probably your gallbladder was already under kind of a burden or feeling weaker. And so when you reintroduced fat, it was a bit over the top for your gallbladder. So I would say that lower your fats and just eat cooked food, raw food, whatever you can, but make sure that it's fat free. Yeah, make sure that it's fat free or low fat. Clearly, your gallbladder is telling you that it's not ready for that. And also, when you have a gallbladder attack and you start to have pain, when you start to have pain, I don't know whether you're experiencing fevers or whether it's just pain, but if you have pain, then you could also have an infection. In the Liver Rescue book, he talks about gallbladder infections, which can be like causing the spasms and the attacks as well. So just pay attention to that. Julie is light. Hey, Julie. You were just diagnosed with melanoma? I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, that has to suck so badly. I'm so sorry. You're such a beam of light, just like your name says. Yeah, I mean, I would say that if you're struggling with that, you know, the thing is, Julie, I can't say a lot here about that. But I would say look up the books, look up the appropriate protocols. And I would say that if you're scared or you're wanting to get support, speak to a practitioner who's knowledgeable about this topic and get some sound advice, because it matters to get the right support, because often in the world around this topic, you'll only get one kind of advice. Nicolene Nikki. I'm getting off of caffeine end of July while I do the 369. Was thinking to do the supplements for addiction. While on the 369, what do you recommend? Yeah, sure. If you want to do that, that's awesome. Totally go for the addiction supplements and protocol while you're doing it. Cheryl says, I'm getting sunburned more this year than normal. Is there something that could cause this? Yeah, all the toxins that are in the air and the fires and even sometimes metals and things that are in our own bodies. More of those can cause us to burn. Official Hafsa says, I have to sleep 12 hours a night to function. What's the best way to heal this? Support your adrenals more and support your brain more, your central nervous system more. Fit Furrow, you're so beautiful. Thank you. You're so kind. Why do I get stabbing pain in my liver every time I have some fats in my meal? Kay Zielinski. Probably because your liver is maxed out and any more burden you put on it, it's going to scream back at you. So right now, your liver needs you to unburden it, and removing fats from your diet might be a good way to relieve the burden on your liver, and doing 369 cleanses over a period of time, doing more and more of those, would also help to relieve the pain in the liver. And so I don't know if you guys know, but we just opened up membership. If you don't know what membership is, it's my healing community, the intuitive healing community that we are, where we support people for their health and their healing. And pretty much you can ask us any question, except for one or two topics. You can ask us pretty much any question in there. And we are excited because the 6-month sale, like the 6-month promotion is here for that. Like, you can purchase 5 months and get the 6th month free. And we only do this twice in a year. We offer the annual at the beginning of the year, and we do the half year at this time of the year. So it's open now. If you've been waiting to join, it's a great deal. Ask me questions. I'm excited to share. Hey, Carrie Miller, how are you doing? Gamer Hales, how can I get rid of a persistent cyst? Tell me where it is. That will help. But using the cyst and tumor protocols in the Cleanse to Heal book is a good place to start. Fruit, vegetables, and angels. Hello. Nosheen Gurdarzi. I've had a hard time to cut gluten and dairy from my diet. Any suggestions? So, I would say if you're struggling, Nosheen, I would do the cravings shifter shot. It has things like kale and cabbage and ginger, celery. I think it might even have basil in it. I can't remember exactly. But that shifter shot from the Brain Saver Protocols book or the Brain Saver book is great to deal with those types of addictions. And also, you should know that when you're struggling with cutting out foods, it's also because often there's not enough glucose in your brain. Actually, next month in membership, we are talking about addiction. We're talking about addiction, what causes addiction to occur, alcohol addiction, caffeine addiction, drug addiction, sex addiction, all kinds of addictions. And we're talking about how to recover. We're talking about eating disorders. So if you have a struggle like that, I would highly encourage you to check that out and build glucose in your system, right? If you're struggling to get food in, at least when you're reaching for gluten, instead reach for potatoes, sweet potatoes, squashes, fruit, honey, glucose, those kinds of things. Fit for Rose says, I have many diagnostics from EBV, thyroid, Hashimoto's, sluggish liver, vagus nerve. I'm overwhelmed. I really just don't know which protocol to address first. It's so overwhelming. Fit for Row, again, I can help you to a limited amount here. But if you want to join membership to get that deeper support where you can share a lot of your health history. You can share a lot of what you have going on, and we can help you determine which to prioritize. In fact, tomorrow I'm going live Q&A in membership. So if you want to jump in and ask me your question in more depth there, you'll get a much more in-depth answer. I might even pick you for laser coaching, which is what we do. So many diagnostics. The place to start, what I can help you with over here, is the place to start is to offer yourself a list of like, what's the symptom that bothers you the most? The symptom that bothers you the most. Start with that symptom and start to lower, like really dial in those foods for that symptom, dial in the protocols and the supplements for that symptom. And that's where to start. But with overwhelm, it's like I would need to know a lot more from you to be able to guide you even more accurately. So stay calm, Lemon Balm. God, I love your name. That handle is the best. I have a toothache when I chew hard food. What should I do and what supplement could I take? Well, first of all, you want to make sure that you're not dealing with an infection in that tooth. So make sure you get it checked out by a dentist. And if you're not dealing with an infection, it could be a nerve that's irritated or triggered. And if you are dealing with an infection, then make sure you get that advice from your dentist is going to give you antibiotics. We probably already know that. So what you can do on top of that to support yourself is to take in Golden Seal, to take in propolis, to bring in high vitamin C, like C-shock therapy, zinc shock therapy. All of them can help you as well. So I hope that that's a good start. Steph ever after, struggling with staying low fat. Are any good tips to reduce fat? Yeah, I do. I have a lot of tips to reduce fat. So the number one thing with reducing fat is to increase the amount of carbohydrate and glucose that you're taking into your system. I know that people don't actually take me seriously when I say this, but the way that you survive to avoid the fat trap, call it the fat trap, is by really understanding how to eat more glucose and bringing in more glucose. And, a lot of people will tell me, well, they'll wake up in the morning and they're taking, I've spoken to people recently, they're taking 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours sometimes to finish their morning cleanse. And that's setting you up for missing glucose all morning and then craving something later on in the day. So you've got to up your, to get out of the fat free or the fat trap, you have to up your glucose. You have to eat like a lot more potatoes. You have to eat a lot more adrenal snacks. You have to eat a lot more calories in terms of fresh, clean, clear glucose so that you can reduce the amount of cravings for fat. The fat cravings only happen because you don't have enough glucose in your body and in your brain. Again, Steph Ever After, we're talking about this topic in membership in July. So if you want to start and avail of the offer that we have for the 6 months of membership, you pay for 5, get 6 months free. Pay for 5, get 1 month free. You pay for 6, you're getting the 6-month membership. And that's literally like what we'll help you with. Like the addiction section in next month is going to be hot because it's people already. The number of questions that we have about addiction are just through the roof. So many questions. But I hope that tip will help you. Christy Barkley says, when doctors say someone has a gene mutation, how do they figure it? Is it just an inflammation test? Well, they call it a gene test, but it's kind of testing for inflammation, not for the gene. So when, for example, I've had clients with an MTHFR gene mutation positive, and then they heal, they get better, they clear their symptoms, they went back and redid the test, and it came out negative. That's because it's not a well-designed test. Keep moving strong. Just finish the banana mono cleanse, and is this cleanse or another cleanse better to do for MS? All the cleanses are good. Well, they'll help you with all symptoms. Mono cleanse is specific for the gut and also can help with cranial nerves. And MS is, the liver is involved in MS too. So I would use the 369 would be super helpful for recovering from MS. Bernd Bissinger, who is also healing from MS, has done multiple rounds of 369. He's been fat-free for 4 years. He just celebrated his 4-year fat-free anniversary. And he's had massive improvements in his health. I mean, like, and so I would really consider that. Mariuka 55 says, what best supplements for food or broken bones? I would say the best supplements for broken bones are nettle leaf, silica, horsetail tea, magnesium, and curcumin to help with the pain. And foods, I would say again, horsetail tea, nettle tea, red raspberry leaf tea, aloe, melons, cucumbers, because they're all foods that are high in silica. My healing lifestyle. I just found a tick on me after my walk. Should I be worried? Nope, just take it off, clean it with peroxide, and you'll be fine. Take some Z-Shock, C-Shock therapy, and hopefully you'll be fine. Chrissy Barkley says, I'm so excited for tomorrow's membership call, live Q&A with live laser coaching happening tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. This month, we covered chemical and food sensitivities, as well as if you have sensitivities to supplements and why you have sensitivities to supplements. If you want to jump in on that, you can jump in right now. Kaylin 144, I had a bad case of food poisoning back in January. I'm struggling with flares and setbacks. I've done mono, not long term, but seems like something can trigger the symptoms and knocks me down. So if you've had a bad case of food poisoning, then you need to build back your immune system. So again, I would use shock therapies like zinc shock, C-shock, golden seal shock, purplish shock. You can rotate them, do one a day, and then take a break, and then do it again, and take a break. But take them in smaller amounts on the off days as well. You need to build back the immune system with things like shaga and reishi, a little bit more lysine, and that should help. Cascowper, apart from sweet potato, what else can help with hirsutism and excess hair on the face? It's caused by an EBV that goes kind of nutty in your system. So knocking that back is helpful, along with red raspberry leaf and red raspberry leaf tea, basically, and nettle leaf tea that can help with the female hormonal system. I would also bring in licorice, and I'd also bring in some ashwagandha to balance out your adrenals, which are the root of any hormonal problem in your body. Mariko Phillips says, what are the split slits on my hands and lips that occur every few days? Is that ammonia permeability or toxins being released to the skin? Or is it too much lemon juice and soap on my hands? So it's likely from your liver, actually, because if you're having that happen often, it's liver and probably a little viral. So make sure you're taking the Core 7. Oh my gosh, I haven't talked about the Core 7 in so long. If you don't know what the Core 7 is, I now have a blog talking about the Core 7. So there you go. I'm also going live tomorrow with Dr. Satare. And I'm going to be talking, the topic for tomorrow is talking on Instagram, talking about family problems when you're healing, lack of family support, how to talk to people socially, to ask for what you need, how to get what you need from others when they're not as supportive. So don't miss that as well. That is tomorrow evening, right here on Instagram. Cheryl Stolaric says, my son had horrible acne. It is getting better with strep protocol, but he has a lot of scarring. Anything to help with that? Yes, lots of sweet potatoes, aloe internally and topically, sea buckthorn, best skin ever by Living Libations. It's a great product for removing scar tissue. I actually use that product as well, along with the medical medium tools, to help me after I gave birth to my babies when I had some stretch marks and things and scarring. It really made a huge difference. All right, next question is, Next question. Steph, you're going to sign up? I can't wait. I'd love to support you in there. About a week, what can I do? Should mono be done in the long term? These flares aren't consistent and random. I've had colonoscopy, CT scan, and thankfully nothing, but this is such a struggle. So, Kaylin, I have a testimonial from Nirmal on my recent reels. If you want to go watch it, he also had such terrible stomach pains. He was diagnosed with Crohn's and colitis a little bit, and he was like taking the healing tools and he was getting a lot of flares as well. I would say that yes, mono can be done long term and keep it simple. I think with stomach problems, the rule is keep it simple, Simon, keep it simple, right? KISS, keep it simple, because when, or rather we should say keep it simple, spirit, because it comes from spirit, right? I think it's great to keep things simple, and yes, you can do a long-term mono cleanse. Have you ever tried doing aloe shock therapy or aloe therapy? And also, have you done the nerve gut acid stabilizer shot, which can also help you? Next question is from Nancy. Nonsir, what helps to regain mobility with a frozen shoulder since August? Pain has gotten better, but not totally gone. So I would say if your mobility is struggling, I would get a little bit of massage in there. That can make a big difference, either self-massage or working with somebody to help you gently open that up. And if you're having stiffness and hard time moving, you probably got a lot of acidity in there. So flush and hydrate a lot more. Bring in more coconut water, more lemon water, more melons, cucumber juice, apple juice. Apples can be really rehydrating. And so you want to bring in those. Make sure you're not having any coffee, any vinegar, any fermented foods, because they dehydrate you and they make you more acidic. So in order to gain mobility, you need to gain alkalinity back in the body, and you need to gain hydration so that the poisons that are in the joint can kind of flush out. And also helping it along with a little bit of body work and massage would also make a difference, because I've had that happen too. Christy says, my sister says her Haley is gene mutation. I'm thinking it's viral and the test isn't picking up inflammation. Yes, Haley is viral. Katie Blinkley says, so crazy these doctors say that eat healthy fats is so frustrating. Yes, I agree. La Mexicana 2011, what can I do to lower blood pressure? I was put on medication for it and I honestly hate medication. Okay, so high blood pressure is not a heart problem. It's not a genetic problem. It's a liver problem. So when your liver is overburdened and backed up and struggling, then it starts to probably get more fatty and slower and more sluggish, and you can have thicker blood. Often when you have a weak liver, you also have dirtier blood or thicker blood, because when your liver is not working as well, it cannot clean the blood that well either. So when the liver is struggling, then you want to, and when the blood pressure is high, it's because I want you to picture drinking a straw, water through a straw, and then drinking a thick smoothie through a straw. Which one is going to be harder to drink? Which one is going to require more force for you to swoosh it up, right? So obviously the thick smoothie takes more force to pull it up. So that's the same thing that happens with your blood. When your blood is thick, the heart needs to apply more pressure to move your blood around. When your blood is thin, then the heart needs less pressure to move your blood around. And so one of the top things you can do to help yourself with high blood pressure is to actually lower your dietary overt fat. So if you're eating dairy, eggs, milk, cheese, butter, sour cream, or you're eating high volumes of nuts and seeds, oils, avocado, coconuts, things of that nature, then I would say start by lowering your dietary fat. The animal product that's highest in fat is pork. So start to let go of pork. Start to let go of beef, lamb, chicken, and stick to maybe some fish. Just lower your fat significantly. because that will start to thin out your blood. And other foods that help to thin out your blood include things like melons, cucumbers, coconut water, lemon water, but also eggplant is really helpful for thinning the blood. And curcumin will thin your blood. Vitamin C will thin your blood. So these tools are really helpful to bring in. And then the thing that lowers blood pressure is olive leaf. Olive leaf is an excellent supplement for that. Julia's Light says, what are the top supplements for the C word? Do the core 7, Julie, and then I add my top 10, right? So I do the top 10. So I do the core 7. You know what the core 7 are. And the core 7 is B12, zinc, micro C, lysine, cat's claw, lemon balm, licorice root. And then I have the top 10 for the C word, and I would add in glutathione, melatonin, and chaga. And so those would be my top. So Kay Zielinski says, I'm super sensitive and cannot seem to do the HMDS. I break out in hives and rashes with cilantro, and barley grass doesn't agree with me either. Kay Zielinski, then this month in membership is excellent for you because it's all about sensitivities, chemical sensitivities, food sensitivities, supplement sensitivities. I don't know if you can, but if you can join, it would give you a lot of support and information and then how to deal with that. Now, if you cannot seem to do HMDS, then I would break it into its components, right? Can you do a banana? Can you do wild blueberries? Can you do cilantro? Can you do oranges? Can you do dulse? Liquid, try the liquid, or try dulse flakes by themselves. Can you do spirulina by itself? Can you do barley grass by itself? Which one of those doesn't agree with you? So you already said that cilantro and barley grass don't agree with you. That's not because you cannot have them. That's not because they're bad foods. That's not because you're never going to be able to handle them. That's because the healing reaction from them is so strong for you that your liver cannot process it. It's an overburdened liver that makes it hard for you to deal with certain foods. So then people say, well, it's histamine because it's hives and things. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got to do with an overburdened liver. So I would go very slowly, especially if you're super sensitive. And like I said, we have a lot more tips and I can go in a lot more depth in the membership. But if you're willing to, check that out, we can help you a lot more in there. The next question is from Katie Brinkley. She says, my father has Bell's palsy and AFib. I'm trying to help. So as you know, Bell's palsy is shingles. So the shingles protocol is a core 7 plus golden seal, mullein, and golden seal, mullein, and propolis, along with magnesium, neuromag, curcumin are really, really helpful for that. Lindy Home 57, what to do to help a large boil to drain. I have one on the inside of my thigh that is not draining like the others have. It's soft and not hard. Okay, so I would take lots of golden seal, lots of propolis, vitamin C, and zinc shock therapy, and hydrate yourself because that will help the drainage, and also it will help your immune system to kind of fight this a bit. Stay Calm Lemon Balm. The membership is so worth it. Look forward to each call. So excited that you're here and sharing that. That's amazing. What can help with adrenal fatigue, brain fog? It seems everything I eat is not good for me. Oh my goodness. So when people start to tell me that everything they eat is not good for them, that just means that it's not the food that's doing it. That's just you having symptoms. You just have symptoms. And if you start to connect those symptoms to every food that you eat, you're never going to be able to eat anything. It makes it very difficult and it literally can drive you crazy. I just was talking to somebody this week about this topic, and this poor girl, she's practically bedridden and she's had a major injury. She can't move her neck and she's so afraid of all these foods. And I started to tell her, I'm like, but these are not, the food is not causing the reaction. Your viruses are causing this. Your pathogens, your poisons like toxic heavy metals are causing these reactions. The adrenal fatigue and brain fog is happening because you have tons of neurotoxins flooding out of your liver into your bloodstream and saturating your brain with neurotoxin. So the foods are actually there to help you. And if you're connecting the symptoms with the foods that you're eating, I encourage you not to do that, because that's a wrong way to mentally think about it. And it can legitimately drive somebody crazy. Many clients I've worked with have had to kind of help them disconnect those things. And then when they've disconnected it and they've been able to trust the healing foods and bring them in, then they start to heal because they can trust something. It's very hard when you can't trust anything, right? So, Paige, I'm so sorry you're going through that. Lulu725211. I just returned from the periodontist. They want me to use dental disclosing liquid so they can see where there is plaque. Is it safe? No, I think there's definitely poisons in it. There's artificial color in it. There's definitely things that I wouldn't take in it. So I don't know if that's the only way, but you can clean plaque and just make sure everything is cleaned so that you don't just focus on the areas where it's there, but you focus on all of it and just clean all of it. Aurora's morning. Good morning. Do you think that for someone like me, propolis would be something my bladder could handle? I have such extreme sensitivity. I can take lemon balm and golden seal, but not too much else. The only way to know, Aurora, is to test it on yourself. So make sure you try it. Do 1 drop or 2, test it out, wait 3 days, test it out again, wait 3 days, test it out again, wait 3 days, and then you'll know. Lucy M. Kerr, any tips for suffering from chilblains? Last winter, my fingers were so terrible and ended up splitting, so sore. So yeah, I'm so sorry. That's really, really hard. And I would moisturize better, and I would also hydrate better. So the best thing to do is to hydrate. Cucumber juice, coconut water, melons. I know melons are hard in the winter, but apples might be really helpful for you. Nancy W. Is fat important in pregnancy and does it need to be daily? Fat is important in pregnancy. Yes, it is. A little bit more than for someone who's not pregnant. And does it need to be daily? It doesn't need to be daily, but it could be 3-4 times a week, or 2 times a week, or 3 times a week, depending on your needs. I couldn't tell you that unless I consulted with you. Kay Zielinski. Kaylin said, that happened to me when I started the HMDS for myself. I pushed through it and eventually went away. The pathogens and viruses put up a fight. Yes, they do. S2 Lucas. Hey there, Sally. What can I use to treat a plantar wart? You take some basil, you crush it, and you put it on the wart several times in a day, and after a few days, it will clear up. Jenny Parrott says, I love that. Keep it simple, Spirit. Yep, that's right. Exactly. So Mama Ramsey says, what protocol should I follow for chronic burping? So chronic burping is a spasm of the vagus nerve, which is caused by EBV. And so you want to make sure you're bringing in Core 7, zinc, micro-C, lysine, cascol, lemon balm, licorice root, and you're bringing in monocleansing. Aloe therapy is really helpful for that. Cheryl Sterlaric says, every time I get anything from Living Libations, I have to wash it off because the smell is too intense and I cannot handle it. Is that a chemical sensitivity or what is that? Yes. So people who are chemically sensitive can be sensitive to even the good stuff. And I had a client who only ever used Living Libations and she would get headaches from it. And I remember she was a client of Anthony's actually, first for years. And she told me that after she had worked with him, and he had told her that it was because it was just so pure. The purity was so, they were so pure and so concentrated and so potent that even that could be too much for someone who's sensitive. Ita, salam to you as well. Aloha from Kauai. Nice to see you here. So lovely. How are you doing, Ita? Aurora's morning, I have terrible stiffness and awful cracking on the side of my left neck, shoulder, and back related to insomnia. Any idea why this is happening? So, terrible stiffness and cracking on the neck sounds like you have a virus there. It could be shingles. Try out the shingles protocol. That could help. Mia's healing journey. A friend has an inguinal hernia. How should she address this? Well, hernias are tough because they're not caused by one specific thing. Often, it's a weakening of the connective tissue caused by a whole bunch of viruses and pathogens and toxins that are in the body. So it requires a much more general overall healing protocol, cleaning up the diet, cleaning up the blood. And so if she's willing and able to, following the basics of the diet recommendations of the medical medium protocols. Cutting out the eggs, dairy, gluten, corn, soy, canola to start with, cutting out the caffeine to start with, cutting out the vinegar. It's a big deal to make those changes. And if she'd like to get started on that journey, Mia's Healing, I would say send her to the Roadmap for Healing program, the free program on my website right at the top, where you go to muneezaahmed.com, muneezaahmed.com, and right up at the top you'll see Roadmap for Healing. Click on that, it's free, let her sign up, and it'll teach her the basics of how to get started by cleaning up her diet. MMO929, Salam Muneeza, I'm having heavy metal detox smoothie. It gives me diarrhea. Is it normal? Yeah, it can be normal because you're flushing out a ton of poisons. Chris Dent says, I'm traveling very soon as 4 days flying. What supplements should I take on the plane and while overseas? Great question. So I take all of my supplements when I travel. So, yeah, I mean, take the core 7, like take B12, zinc, micro C, lysine, cat's claw, lemon balm, licorice root. But it also depends on the health issues that you have, Chris, right? So I would say also golden seal is essential, and I would say oil of oregano is essential because when you're eating out, you can get food poison. So remember to take a capsule of oil of oregano before you eat out anywhere, to prevent that. And then I would say some propolis too. So those would be my top ones to recommend. And if you're trying to do your HMDS while you're away, then make sure you take those ingredients as well. Okay, so best food and supplements to soothe the liver. Cutting out fat is the best soothing of the liver you could do. And then foods that support the liver, there's just so many of them. So many fruits and vegetables all support the liver, especially apples, especially asparagus. Those are some of the top 2 foods for the liver. Cranberries are great for the liver. Milk thistle is great for the liver. Burdock root is great for the liver. Dandelion is great for the liver. Chicory is great for the liver. 5-MTHF detoxifies the liver. So if you want the best foods and supplements, Kay Zielinski, the Liver Rescue book would be really great to check out. Dawn MK, my 77-year-old mother has started having hallucinations. No change of meds. Is this early signs of dementia? How to get rid of it? Any thoughts would be appreciated. So hallucinations, yes. Toxic heavy metals, definitely having fun in there. So start her on the heavy metal detox smoothie to begin with, and celery juice, if she's willing to listen. Mariko Phillips says, are black spots forming on cilantro dangerous to consume or possibly safe in small amounts? Or sprouted garlic and onion safe to eat once sprouting is removed? So are black spots forming on cilantro? I'm not sure what that could be. If it's mold, then I would obviously cut it out. I wouldn't do that. Sometimes the cilantro could be attacked by a bug, like a plant bug, or one of the bugs that attack growing plants, which is why people even use pesticides, right? So if it's that, then I wouldn't consume it. Are sprouted garlic and onion safe to eat? I mean, if it's a teeny tiny sprout, then it's okay, but if it's quite a tall sprout, then I wouldn't do it. Connie Ginter, health coach. You are so knowledgeable and smart. Thank you very much for your help. You're most welcome. I honestly feel like I know nothing. I feel like I'm just at the very beginning, like in kindergarten, trying to figure all this out. And I feel like I'm learning every day. So I want to pass it on because we all are learning all the time, right? That's why I feel it's so critical for us to gather in community and learn from each other and learn from each other's experiences and to understand how health really works. Because even though people sometimes read the books and take away some pieces of information, sometimes they're not walking away with a full picture of what's really going on, because I think people miss the adrenal piece. People miss, like, if their immune system is weak, or they can miss, like, oh, my liver's really struggling right now, or like they miss like what the biggest problem might be. And I feel like when we can talk about it and learn together, it can make a big difference, because I'm pretty sure like the answers to some of the addiction questions are helping people and things like that. But I'm so honored to be able to come on and do this. I honestly miss this. Like, it's been a minute since I've been able to come here and talk to you guys, and It's just been super busy. But yeah, that's why we also created membership, right? Membership is a place to come and gather. It's our community. It's where you get answers. It's where you get, I mean, so many people tell me that their health turned around because they could understand the whole picture better when they came into membership and could learn from the group and learn from the 21 practitioners that we have in there who keep supporting the group and answering questions and providing help. So it pays. If you're able to get guidance, no, it's not just through workshops. Join the membership community. I'm in there. There's 21 practitioners in there. Join the membership because it's really going to help you come out of any kind of crisis that you might be in. And it'll help you to see all of that. It's really easy to join. There's just one click. Thank you, Christy Barkley, for sharing the links. I'm really, really grateful that you did that. Mariko Phillips Marino, we will be happy to have you. Congratulations on the move. Thank you for welcoming her ahead of time. I love you guys. Team Adrian, thoughts on using a castor oil pack in addition to MM protocols? Yeah, I've used castor oil packs for quite some time. I even have a castor oil pack blog on my website. Go to muneezaahmed.com, search castor oil, and it should show up. Katie Binkley, what book is the shingles protocol from? It's the Revised and Expanded Medical Medium book, and you can also find it in Cleanse to Heal. Mia's healing journey, she's already doing HMGS and CJ and avoiding most troublemakers. That's awesome. Then what I would do is support her by either bringing in heavy metal detox cleanse, and I would support her by doing we're doing a protocol for cranial nerves. Christina Carazia, what do you suggest for a 77-year-old man with toenail fungus on every toe? That's a problem of a weakened immune system. So I would strengthen his immune system by cutting out toxic foods, troublemaker foods like eggs, dairy, gluten, corn, soy, canola, coffee. It can be hard for a 77-year-old. They're pretty set in their ways, aren't they? So bringing in chaga, reishi, core 7, zinc, B12, micro C, lysine, cat's claw, lemon balm, licorice root, golden seal, propolis on top of the core 7. Those can be super supportive and super helpful. So I hope that you can clean up his diet somewhat and boost his immune system, and that will take care of the toenail fungus. And also in the Cleanse to Heal book, there is a toenail fungus protocol right there. Celery healing. What supplements can I take for cramps? Oh my gosh, you're talking about period cramps? Magnesium glycinate, curcumin, nettle leaf, California poppy seed. Susie B, could you tell me the ratio for spirulina and honey mask, please? I use a teaspoon of spirulina and 2 teaspoons of honey, and you mix them together and you just spread them all over your face, and it's just like awesomeness. Goodbye Guinness says, take your supplements with you, but if you're flying, go through the pat down. Don't go through the x-ray because they will all be radiated. But also the security check where you have the you have to put your bags in and they go through the machine, even if it's your carry-on. That will also radiate your supplements. So I personally prefer to carry all my supplements in my checked in, and then I'll take maybe a little bit with me so that all my supplements don't get fully radiated. Sally says, it's nice to see you tonight, Muneeza. I love your live Q&As. Thanks for being here, Sally. It's really nice to see you too. Jen Light 202, my 7-year-old used a public bathroom the other day. Is there anything that can be done afterwards to protect him from the germs? Boost the immune system. All right, get on the core 7, do the chaga, do the reishi to bring in. I'm talking about chaga and reishi more today. I do feel like we need that additional boost from them. And then the shock therapies like C-shock, Z-shock, golden seal shock, propolis shock. Celery juice, healing with celery juice. You are amazing as always. Well, thank you. You guys are awesome for hanging out with me. It's just so fun to be back here. If any of you have questions about the membership, ask me. There's so many members already here watching with us. Maybe they can answer your questions. Some of them have already been answering questions. We're here to support you. We're here to promote this healing path. You know what happens is that a lot of people get so focused on, I have EBV, or I have, Hashimoto's, or I have rheumatoid arthritis, or I have like brain fog. And they'll look for those protocols and they'll do them and they'll help. And at the same time, there's a bigger picture, which is what we talk about in membership, and actually talk about the whole picture, because for some people, it's overwhelming to kind of figure it all out. So if you want a faster track to understanding your health, that's what we'll give you in membership. We'll connect those dots for you that you're missing. And that's what can lead to more healing and support. GS Healing says, can a prolapsed bladder be fixed with protocols? He mentions, I think, cherry juice that can help with prolapse in this Life-Changing Foods book. So definitely bring that in. But also prolapsed bladder, like a prolapsed rectum or a prolapsed cervix, are all examples of weakened tissues. Just like we have a problem with hernias, it's the same kind of problem. So that's what we have to focus on, is general cleansing, cutting out the toxic foods, cutting out troublemakers, bringing in more healing foods, and foods that specifically help to build connective tissue is the Living Silica by Organosilica, the nettle leaf, magnesium glycinate, Neuramag, horsetail tea, aloe water, cucumber juice. Melons are all high in silica, and so are artichokes, actually. So GS Healing says, I'm asking about my mom who had menopause. Yeah, it'll all work even for her. Elizabeth says, do you have any tips for excessive hair shedding and thinning? Do I? I've lost so much hair. So, yeah, I have a whole reel on hair thinning. And so so MSM is really good for hair thinning and hair loss. Silica, like I just talked about. All of these things are actually good for hair, nails, and skin, right? So nettle leaf, again, really helpful. Ashwagandha, really helpful. Building back your adrenals is very critical. So anything you can take for adrenal support will help to build back your hair as well. Shazrog, I'm having a chemical sensitivity flare up. I'm becoming sensitive even to my furniture and clothing made out of polyester. What's causing this, and what steps could I take? Shazrog, I am so sorry that you're struggling with this. And I would say, oh my God, like, it's a perfect month in membership for you to join. We are talking about food and chemical and supplemental sensitivities and where they come from. So they come from an overburdened liver and a struggling central nervous system. So if you're struggling with that, the steps you can take is to immediately start cutting out fat from your diet or lowering it, starting with a 369. And if you're sensitive, you have to start with very few supplements, because you cannot take a lot if you're sensitive. And 5-MTHF is a good place to start. But really, if you want deeper support, please, please, please consider joining the membership community. It would be amazing for you. Christina Wakely says, one of my favorite things about membership is Amber praying for us. We love you, Amber. And we love the prayers that she does. She is pretty awesome. T. Madron says, would you avoid the sun with melasma? At first, yes, because the sun can pull out more poisons from inside. It's a great detoxifier, and only because it might irritate the skin more, not because it can cause any harm, because the sun does not harm us. I mean, have you guys noticed how much we are led to believe that the sun and nature can hurt us? It's not so. So, Lucy says, thank you for the advice, much appreciated. And thank you for being so generous with your time and knowledge. You're most welcome. Gamer says, I love your blog. You're most welcome. I'm so glad it helps. Fifi3388. We're just wondering, what's the best time to take Vimergy supplements? The best time to take supplements is when you'll actually take them and put them into your body. That's the best time to do it. The best way to spread out your supplements is to often try to do them 2 or 3 times a day, because that means you'll get the best support for your body as you heal. Because if you take them once a day, and I've done that for when I've been really busy, I sometimes only take them once a day. But I try to take them 2-3 times a day, especially if I'm having a flare, I'm not feeling well, I try to take them more often. So typically the time to start taking them is after 20 minutes of drinking celery juice. But other than that, you can take them at any time. Elevated Biotic says, I'm very interested in joining. I am super grateful to hear that, and would love for you to join membership. Pace says it's been overwhelming. Thanks for the live. You're most welcome, Pace. Consider joining membership. I swear we will help you. We'll get in there and answer your questions. I love Healing. Hey, Claudia. I've been in membership since its inception 4 years ago, and I'll never stop. Oh, my gosh. I love you. Thanks for being there, Claudia. We love you. Living a clean life. Hi, Muneeza. I got a crazy breakout, welts on my face when I tried to juice asparagus every day in May. Also happens when I got high on supplements. Am I detoxing too much? It's not detoxing too much. You're probably sensitive, and you want to make sure that you aren't exposed to any other kind of exposures that could cause you to have welts. There's a lot here to kind of figure out and ask. Like, I have 20 questions for you. Like, for example, which I can't go back and forth here. Like, I wish I could, but Instagram's just not a place to do that. But for example, the kinds of questions I would have for you is, have you ever gotten welts outside of juicing asparagus? Have you ever gotten welts outside of taking high supplements? If so, what are those situations that you had welts in? What did you consume that day that you had welts in? So welts are not always related to food. In fact, most likely the foods that you're eating aren't causing them, but there's something else going on, and that's the welts or hives, and hives comes from an overburdened liver. That's the root of why you're having that happen. And this is another thing too, just being able to just get in there and understand. I have a blog about this. If you go to muneezaahmed.com, there's a blog called Reactions, Sensitivities, Intolerances, and More. I cover hives in there, so you can go take a look at the supplements that can actually help with hives, which include vitamin C, which if you're not doing often enough or daily or high enough, it can make a big difference. And also reishi and curcumin, amongst more. So go check that out. Stay Calm Lemon Bob says, me too. I wish they have lifelong membership. Oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. Thanks for sharing that. You made me smile. Christy Muti, hey, how are you? This is a silly question, but how do you store your potatoes? I try to keep them in a cool, dry place, but they always sprout. I use them if they have really tiny sprouts. Yeah, I do. So, but yeah, I store them in a cool, dry place, and it's often kind of dark too where I store them. So yeah, check that out. So I'm posting, many people are asking me for the link to the community. So let me just post that link here and I'll pin it. I just want to make sure I'm getting the right link here before I will keep going. It's just that everybody has the link, and I just want to make sure, because I want to make sure I post the right link for you guys and not the wrong one. So let me see where it takes me. Yep, here we go. Okay, I got it. Here's the right link, and hopefully you guys can see that I'm pinning the link. All right, can you guys see the pinned link right there? I pinned the link to the community. So those of you who are asking, just go in there and tap in there, and you can find the link. Kay Zelinsky, do I do one-on-one coaching? I do. Check out my laser one-on-one coaching on my website. Go to muneezaahmed.com, click on Work With Me, and you'll see laser one-on-one coaching, and check in there. Art Lova says, what are white spots on a child's nail indicate? My son is on an diet for more than a year. Please advise. He takes zinc B12 lemon balm. Whew. So white spots indicate a zinc deficiency. And the way to overcome that is just to keep bringing in more zinc daily. Maybe do once a week zinc shock therapy. All right. A-Walk says, what heals lipomas in the lower back? Doing a 369 cleanse, lowering dietary fat are the first steps that can help that. Jolene, you have plantar fasciitis. That's so painful. I'm so sorry. Plantar fasciitis is caused by EBV, and you want to make sure you're bringing in all the protocols. I don't know what you're doing, but hopefully you're bringing in all of them with you to get better, and curcumin and all nettle leaf and the Core 7. Really want to bring those in. Can receding hair on a 23-year-old male be reversed? If so, how? It's hard to tell with a 23-year-old whether it's genetic male pattern balding, in which case it cannot be, but if it is not genetic, supporting the adrenals is a really great way to go. Oyer Malenko, what heals persistent HPV? HPV is often not the main issue. What you want to heal is EBV. EBV is the issue, especially for the thing that you think is not the issue, but it is the issue. And so I hope that helps. And I haven't even looked at the questions that were submitted, so I'm going to go and talk about those. So Claire Negro said, creases on my hands were dark brown after the 369. Why? Probably because you were releasing some toxic heavy metals. Kathy says, bad tooth decay, nothing worked. So what can happen is if your teeth are not, if the decay is not caught early, once it starts to go deeper into the tooth, it very quickly erodes the whole tooth. So at that stage, it's hard to use to heal anything. You have to catch it when it's very, very early. So I'm sorry that's struggling, but if you have really bad decay, I would go to a dentist. Renata Kiss Coach. So I wonder, Renata Kiss Coach, what do you teach people? I'm so curious about your name. What supplements and tools should I avoid while breastfeeding? So I would avoid golden seal, cat's claw, any big herbs unless you absolutely need them. And I would make sure that you avoid high fats. Get lots of carbohydrate in so you can make amazing milk for your baby. Most tools are okay. Just have to avoid a few herbs while you're starting off. Juliana Rivera, sharing a bathroom with guests who don't follow ask them to clean before they come out. Ask them to kind of clean up. I think that would be super helpful. If you can ask people to do a certain cleaning routine, like clean the toilet, wipe, maybe give them alcohol wipes to wipe the seat properly, to wipe the sink properly, and just say, I'm super crazy about hygiene and I don't care if you think I'm crazy because I am, right? So what do you think about brain retraining and its success in CFS patients? I've never heard of success with brain training for CFS. I've never heard of CFS being cured by brain training. It's not a thing. Maybe some other things are going on in that situation, but CFS, when you know its root cause, that's like saying that if you train your thoughts, you can reverse chronic fatigue, and that's not true. I call BS on that. Reagan McCabe says, 41 weeks and 5 days pregnant, midwives want to induce me on Tuesday, was planning for a home birth. Any advice? Oh my gosh, that's today. So I was supposed to, I know this was on the weekend. I would go to an acupuncturist. I would go to an acupuncturist and get some treatment done so you can move that baby along. So without needing medical intervention. So best ways. Hey, Amanda Stefanin, nice to see you here. She's a graduate of our recent Rise Up program. So happy to have you here. Best ways to reverse black teeth. Black teeth probably have some oxidation of heavy metals going on. So I would do a heavy metal cleanse if you can. Can you take red? Hold on. Can you take red something, and then I can't read the question. There it is. Can you take red clover for a long time without a break? Tea? Yes. Tincture? I would break it every 3-4 months. Are legumes and grains friendly? Yes, many of them are. What age can your child start liver dosages? Child liver dosages at any age. Usually above 1 year, I would say, is best. Are Apple, Samsung earbuds or smartwatches dangerous? I would never put wireless earbuds in my ears, ever. The radiation coming off of that stuff is, first of all, right near your brain and super high. You don't want to be anywhere near that. And I would not wear a smartwatch on my body, on my person, all the time. We live within 1 kilometer of a phone tower. How can I best protect myself and the kids? Purchase Organite. And if you want recommendations, go to my website and go to type Organite, and the links will pop up. Best approach for a lazy eye, that's usually caused by a form of shingles or Bell's palsy. So I would take the Core 7, which is B12, zinc, micro-C, lysine, cat's claw, lemon balm, licorice root, along with golden seal and propolis. Astrid Kulanik says, mosquitoes love me. What to do to be less appealing to them? Well, most of the time, if you are sitting somewhere and you're in the pathway of the mosquito, that's what's going to cause you to be like attacked by them. They just follow a certain pathway, so you can move, and if they follow you wherever you go, wherever you move to, it could be a little bit of ammonia permeability going on in the gut, which that smell of ammonia is what can attract the bugs. How to heal cavities, Nat Castor Raven. Look up my blog on healing cavities and read that, and also get the Medical Medium Celery Juice book, which has a lot about teeth healing in it. What are my thoughts on sea moss? It's fine. It's not jaw-droppingly amazing, but it's fine if you want to include it in your food. It's not going to hurt you. Claire Negro says, my hands are yellow on the 369. Also, that was coming from your liver, yes. Ivana Ladybug, can you take shaga caps without making tea? Yes, you can. Thrive with Natalie, best tools for myopia. I've been having lots of eye twitching. So best tools for myopia is to take that toxic heavy metals out of the eye. So doing any of the toxic heavy metal cleanses would be great. I am Naomi Stewart. Is it okay to put all the morning subs in HMDS? If that's the only way you can take them, then yes. Is summer health waves hard for adrenals if someone already has them weak? Heat waves, yes, it can be hard for people's adrenals, but not the adrenals as much as the central nervous system. It can be hard for the central nervous system. Do you know what the xanthan in BR toothbrush is made of? Because normally xanthan equals corn. I don't know that one particularly. What to do if when you really over detox, jumped in, started from 0 to 1,000, now you are flooded with neurotoxins everywhere, what to do? So the medical medium tools do not overload you. It's your viruses and pathogens that overload you. So I just want you to be clear on that, yeah? I just want you to be clear on that. Kaylin144, what can we do for growing pains for toddlers? Is to make sure that you give them plenty of B12. Do I have a cough medicine recipe? Actually, I have ones that I've used. I've never put them on my blog, but mixing cherry juice with golden seal, mullein, lomatium, osha, eyebright, and lots of vitamin C can be super helpful for a cough. Nirmal, in India we get bioenzymes as an alternative for detergents, fruit wash, etc. Are they safe? Yeah, they're often safe. You just have to check if there's nothing else gunky in them. Is it possible to heal any personality disorder? I believe, yeah, you can heal most of them. I don't know which ones you're talking about, but a lot of them can be improved using the protocols. Do you think that any of the Core 7 mix with pharmaceuticals that my 82-year-old dad is on for AFib? No, none of them would. The only interactions that Medical Medium has taught us about has been GABA with benzodiazepines. So Cheryl Stolaric says, do smart meter covers work? Not really. Is smartwatch and Oura Ring the same in terms of radiation? No way. I wear an Oura Ring. This thing does not have the kind of radiation that you get from a smartphone. Smartphones are off the charts high in radiation. You can use a radiation meter and check it for yourself. What do you think of tapping? Is it effective to calm people's adrenals down? Yes, it can be effective to calm your adrenals down, but it's not the cure-all for anything really. Traveling overseas, would like to know if cilantro tincture would be okay if you cannot get fresh. Yes, it would be. What's the reason for sleepwalking in adults? Toxic heavy metals in the brain. What to add for a major neurological flare? Oh my gosh, Pernille, so sorry that you're struggling with a major flare, but for a major flare, I would bring in some like B12, I would bring in 5-MTHF, I'd bring in EPA-DHA, I'd bring in curcumin, I'd bring in the cranial nerve protocols like nerve shifter shot as well. What measures can you take to get rid of a migraine on the spot? You want to hear my first thing I would do if I have a migraine? I've done this so many times when I had little kids and I had no time to do anything. I'd open the freezer and I'd put my head in the freezer. I know you guys are probably going to be like, what is she talking about? Is she gone nuts? What does she mean sticking her head in the freezer? It works. Cold air against a migraine helps to calm the migraine down if you need an immediate support. Or ice packs can help. Shutting yourself into a dark room can help. Hydrating and having glucose immediately can help. And hi, Hannah, nice to see you here. There's lots of things that can help. Curcumin, California poppy, magnesium glycinate, lemon balm can all be super, super helpful. And so, more questions coming in. Would a Faraday bag work on a flight for supplements so the supplements don't get radiated? Yep, that would probably help a lot. Best ways to step away from sugar. So Alice, I'm teaching the addiction protocols and addiction problems in month 7 in July of membership. And I'm like looking at the slides that we're creating and talking about the protocols for this. It is full on. The way to, like, people don't have like a sugar addiction. You don't have a sugar addiction. You have a hidden fat addiction. Because all the sugar that you're eating is combined with fat. You're not taking spoonfuls of table sugar and putting it in your mouth. You're not taking spoonfuls of honey like Pooh Bear and putting it in your mouth. You're not taking straight maple syrup and putting it in your mouth, right? You're having what exactly? That's combined with fat. And it's the fat that you're addicted to. So when you do have plain glucose, you will be able to get rid of the fat, of the sugar as well. The addiction to all of the rest of it. Okay, I meant smartwatch, not smartphone. Even a smartphone has so much more radiation than an Oura Ring. Because it's receiving calls, right? It's connected to a cell tower. That's a lot more radiation. Jackie Matos, I love my Oura Ring. Absolutely love it. Heal with Henna says, cold air also works for me when I have bad nerve pains in my mouth. Oh, I've missed you too, Henna, so much. Which book is a heavy metal cleanse? It's in, you have 1 cleanse in Cleanse to Heal and 7 cleanses in the Brain book. Why does weight come on after eating no fat for months? Probably because adrenaline is flooding your liver. It says, see you in July. Well, I look forward to it. Is it okay to pre-juice oranges to have the juice to use for HMDS for a few days? Well, you won't get the full benefits, but if that's the only way you can do it, I would freeze it and then defrost it when you need it. Most effective supplements for anemia, low iron, nettle leaf, spirulina, barley grass juice powder, red raspberry leaf are super helpful for these, and Gaia Plant Force liquid iron. Why do some people struggle to let go of fat? Because they're addicted to it and they don't get enough calories. And we're talking about addiction in July. So if you want to sign up, now is a great time to buy the 6 months of membership for the price of 5. And it's a special offer that we have on just for literally till the end of June, which will be next week. So it's available now. Check it out. You'll get an amazing support in the membership to actually heal so many symptoms and conditions. What can help your wrist tendonitis? So wrist tendonitis is caused by Epstein-Barr. Oops, dropping the phone there almost. So core 7, cutting out the troublemakers to start with. I don't know what else you're doing or not doing, but bringing in lots of kale too. Kale really helps with tendons. What color should pee be? It should be light yellow. Newly diagnosed with PMDS. doesn't mention it. Any recommendations? Sure. I would start with the core 7, She Doesn't Care, nettle leaf, red raspberry leaf, Vitex berry to start with, and lots of cleanses because toxic heavy metals are a part of this. Can you give an example of what a day of food looks like for kids to get enough calcium? I mean, lots of fruit will get them calcium. Greens will get them calcium. So I would start with lemon water, celery juice, heavy metal detox. That's a morning full of calcium. And then a salad for lunch with potatoes or with a soup or, I don't know, like with something else. Orange juice is loaded with calcium, so if you want to give them that, that works too. And then evening is similar, like, you know, if you want to do something more cooked, like waffles or like a cooked meal, like potato cakes or cutlets and things like that, that can work too. Super helpful. Can losing hair be from long C? Losing hair is from weakened adrenals, and long C can weaken your adrenals. Zara, hi. Is air quality worse in the summer? Yes, it always is. Best food and supplements for severe breast pain. Oh gosh, honey, I would need to know a lot more about that. But I would say to deal with the pain, nettle leaf, magnesium, MSM, California poppy, curcumin to start with, and lemon balm. How would you treat mastitis? Lots of garlic, turmeric, garlic shots. I would do, and if you're breastfeeding, I don't know if you're breastfeeding or not, but if you're breastfeeding, then you can't do golden seal, but I could bring in some propolis and vitamin C and Z and zinc. Child asking why other people eat no foods and foods we don't eat. How to best explain to the child. You can say, I've explained to my children their whole life, there's a lot of lies out there about food and wellness, and so you'll hear a lot of them, and most of them are not the truth. What mama's telling you is the truth. I also teach my children that their mama knows what's best for them. Other people's mamas knows what's best for them because God gives mamas an intuition that is just right for their children. So I would focus on telling your child that and saying that what your mama knows, God gave mama the information to tell you what is right for you. Nisreen O says, hello, Muneeza. Can a 6-month-old baby have HMDS for eczema? Yes. Just a teaspoon, but yes, you can start with that. What are good protein options? My teen is into building muscle. I would stick with greens. Greens are the best proteins, and spirulina. There is the best and highest, most bioavailable protein that you can get from any foods. Even beats animal products, hands down. What are the top supplements for cranial nerve inflammation? WFPBQA, he talks about this in the Brain Saver book. I don't know if you have that. The Brain Saver book, in the Protocols book, he's talking a lot about cranial nerve inflammation. And so, the supplements that are there, a lot of them include, the Core 7. They do include those. And then he also includes things like the heavy metal detox smoothie. He includes a nerve shifter shot. He includes a toxic fragrances shot. He includes, oh my gosh, if I'm trying to think, in terms of, there's a lot of shots in that one. And then, of course, for brain support, B complex, EPA, DHA, shaga, celery force, curcumin, in addition to the core 7 that I've mentioned, so B12, zinc, micro-C, lysine, cat's claw, lemon balm, licorice root, and then magnesium glycinate, melatonin, mullein leaf, olive leaf, there's tons of them. So propolis is also in there, I think. Propolis is actually one of the top supplements for brain inflammation. So check that out. What to do about adrenaline flooding the liver and weight gain caused by eating no fat? Weight gain is not caused by eating no fat. Weight gain is caused by the liver being overburdened. So think of ways to unburden the liver and maybe do a 369, which will help you, and hydrate better. Carissa says, same-sex couple trying IVF for a baby with a very low number of eggs, and the eggs that are taken die. Best place to start, not on MM. Ooh, that's hard. I would have them work on healing their body first before they try to conceive. I would do that first. Can one clear an infection from the jawbone? Yes. I was in my 4.5 advanced cleanse back-to-back, picked up about 6 to 7 kg. I've done about 13 advanced cleanses and 20 mono cleanses, which are all helpful for my symptoms. I don't have a weight problem, I think she said. Yeah, if you have any kind of stress, that'll do it. That means that the liver was already on a trajectory to put on that weight because it's already overburdened. So your intuition was telling you really needed those cleanses. Insomnia every night. I wake up at 3 a.m. Could it be my liver? Jackie says, yes, it can be. I'm sorry that you're waking up, but I would take a combination of melatonin, GABA, lemon balm, magnesium glycinate to really help you not take on that load, that will help a lot. Are the supplements in the Brain Saver Protocols book listed in priority order? No, I don't think so. They're actually, I think, listed in alphabetical order. Please talk about trigeminal nerve inflammation. What do you want me to say about that? I mean, it's shingles, and so shingles protocols work. It's a very intense bug that causes that. It's really, really hard. Half of my hair becomes wavy. The rest can still be very straight. What's the cause? Look up thyroid healing around page 48. He talks about hair a lot in there. And the texture of hair changes because of EBV. How to tackle seasonal allergies. I have a blog on this. Go to my blog, muneezaahmed.com, click allergies or type allergies, and it'll give you the right blog to focus on, and what you can take is caused by an excess of strep in your system. Daughter has a black line running the length of her thumbnail. No fungus, not fungus. Was it injured? Because that could be the next possibility. There's so many questions here, you guys. Oh my gosh, let's see. Let's help people out here. There's so many questions. I don't know that I'm going to get through them all. I answered all the ones who were on live with me just now, which was kind of fun. Haven't done that in a while. Have I heard of ASEA? Yes, I have. I don't recommend it. It's full of iron. Are 100% medical grade silicone patches safe to put on the skin? Depending what for, I suppose, yes. How can I help my daughter heal from strained skin lesions, rash, rare skin wound on the finger? Very hard to say, Valerie. I would need to know more about it. I don't know if you're in membership, but if you are, that's the place to ask. And tag someone and we'll get back to you. Why is it two women can be exposed to the same pathogens? One can be MM 100% for 3 years. One can eat all the no foods, and yet the MM person will get the acne breakouts, etc. Probably because the MM person is sicker and needed the help, which is why they started doing it in the first place. Aurora's morning. Fruits and veggies. Can we freeze if we need to? Yes, you can. I was freezing things from toxic heavy metal exposure shots like the greens, but thought the orange would not work. Orange is actually fine. The greens are not. I wouldn't freeze the greens. Freeze the orange juice. How best to support the body after a new medical treatment. So I would do the advanced heavy metal detox smoothie from the Brain Saver book. I would do the extractor smoothie from the Brain Saver book. And I would do the pharmaceutical exposure shots and cut out all those terrible foods. Pace says, is it better to see a doctor before signing up for membership? You don't have to, Pace. We actually have doctors who are also supporting in the membership. So you can get help from them over there. Aurora says such smart advice about what to tell your children. Hannah says, that's what I tell my son, and he believes me. You should. That's the truth. All right? So, Soul Rise Glow, what to do when you cannot breathe? You can't sleep. It looks like I have the flu. Breathing and coughing is very hard. Ooh, I'm so sorry. That is tough. That's super tough. So, if you're struggling to breathe, get NAC, get an onion and put it in hot boiling water and breathe in the steam from that onion. And then I would say take mullein, lomatium, golden seal, propolis, vitamin C shock, zinc shock, and that should help you a lot. What to do? I already answered that. Is it okay to pre-steam whole potatoes and have in the fridge for a few days? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. So, all right, more questions from this, from right here. So many. Frozen cilantro for HMD. Yes, you could, but it's just not as effective. Opinion about salt from the desert. Is it good as sea salt or worse? I wouldn't. Salt's just not good, How can I protect my children from chlorine that are in the pool water? Drink the anti-chlorine tea, and take the pesticide and chemical exposure shots. Exposed to fragrances 7 hours a day. What can I do to protect myself? Toxic fragrance exposure shot. Be flower lover. Is Golden Seal safe for a 4-year-old? Yes, it is. I cannot recommend a dosage unless you check out the medical meaning books and find your own dosages. MM said that he causes migraines because of swelling. What exactly swells? The lymphatic system can swell and put pressure on the nerves. Best remedy for swimmer's ear and trapped water in the ear. Um, it's not so much as a remedy, but I would like make sure that you're hopping on one side of the ear to like bring out the water, and lots of garlic, lots of golden seal to help prevent an infection. Um, no question, just super grateful for all that you do for this community. Aw, how sweet. Thank you so much. I answered the tick bite question earlier, Nia Guluminita, and so go back and listen to the beginning of the live where I've already answered that question. Um, uh, Aurora's Morning said, how strange. I could have sworn you said before that greens could be frozen for months. Juiced greens, not not greens that aren't juiced. Juiced greens. Juiced greens can be frozen for months. So, best tips to reduce cholesterol. Lower your dietary fat. Get out the saturated fat from your diet. Eggs, meat, dairy. Get that out. It'll reduce your cholesterol just by doing that. And then take some olive leaf, and that can help too. Oh, man. Can you talk about twitching in the lower body, specifically the private area, and how to heal? That sounds like a bit like shingles. So I would work on a shingles protocol from the Cleanse to Heal book. You guys have so many questions, but I think I'm getting a little tired, and it's time for me to go and drink something. But there's a good question that just showed up. What to do when losing faith? That's going to be my last question I'll handle today. I am, first of all, so sorry that you're losing faith. I'm so sorry that you're losing faith, first of all. And what is causing you to lose your faith? And what is the best thing for losing faith? So why are you losing your faith? Alicia McCrae, do you want to come and talk to me for a minute? I'll add you. Alicia McCrae, are you there? Are you there? Okay. Hey, Alicia?
Can you see me?
Yeah, no, I can't see you.
It's dark in my room.
That's
so,
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. What to do when losing faith? What's going on?
Just like in my house.
Meaning with the people around you?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're losing faith in you, losing faith in your ability to heal, losing faith that you follow MM. What's going on?
Just like all of the above.
And how are you feeling? Are you healing? Are you able to make progress?
Not at the moment.
Are you able to share what you might be struggling with? Is it neurological?
Yeah.
Are you bedridden?
Yeah.
And are you doing the morning cleanse, lemon water, celery juice, heavy metal detox?
Yeah, I do, but not for the past like few days.
Is it just hard to get up and make it?
Yeah.
And no one's helping you?
Huh.
And are you living with a partner and children, or is it someone else?
No, just family.
Just family. Okay, just take a really deep breath. Just take a really deep breath. Do you deal with fatigue?
Yeah.
Are you doing adrenal snacks?
Not the like not the adrenal snacks, but I make sure I eat every like half an hour.
Okay, that's really good. That's really good. And how long have you been bedridden?
Well, it's like up and down, but for a
Okay,
while.
so you've been in a flare recently, which is
Yeah.
why you're in bed. Has it been more than a month?
It kind of like comes and goes.
Okay. And so some days you're able to get up and walk around, and some days you're just not.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a special prayer for you tonight, okay? And so you're living with family, maybe parents, I don't know, but they're not hopeful that you're going to heal. How long have you done medical medium stuff? Have you been doing it for more than a few
No,
months?
like years.
Years. Okay. 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And has it all been the same throughout, or has it changed?
It's changed.
Okay. Were you bedridden before as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that you're a little better and improved a little bit?
No, but then I got worse. So.
Okay. All right. So just take a deep breath and know that you will get better again. If you got better once, you'll get better again. Um, is there any way for you to just make some lemon water?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you get energy the next time, just make yourself some extra celery juice and can you freeze it so that if you're bedridden again, you can just kind of take it easy and just use that frozen one.
So what did you say to freeze it? Freeze celery juice.
Freeze celery juice when you make it the next time to make a little bit extra so you can have it for when if you ever get bedridden again, you can have it to use. And the other thing is, can you drink some thyme tea?
I have to. I don't have any at the moment, but I'll have to get some.
Okay. Are you able to order it? Would you have to go to the store?
I'll just have to go to the store.
Okay. Could a friend bring it over for you?
Probably not.
Okay. And are you in Australia?
No,
Okay.
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Okay. Because I was going to say that there's probably people listening here who are in Australia who could try and help. But if you're listening and you're in New Zealand, and if you can reach out to Alicia and to even offer any support, that would be wonderful because that's what our community is for and can help with. And just know for a moment, do you call on the angels ever?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes, yeah.
So like the angel of faith, the
Yeah,
angel of
always.
trust, you know? So Healing with Ruby says, where is she? I'm in New Zealand. Where are you, Alicia?
I'm in Nelson.
She said she's in Nelson. Ruby, let her know where you are and maybe you can connect with her. Um, um, Also, I was going to suggest, like Alice suggested, buy a thyme plant and cut fresh daily because thyme's really good for neurological issues and it's easy to use and to make thyme water. You don't even have to do anything. Sierra Faye says she's in Nelson. Maybe Sierra and you can connect and she can get you some groceries that you need, um, or maybe even some celery juice. So I'm glad you came on and told us where you were because hopefully we can connect you to someone who can help you. Do you have access to supplements?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So are you taking supplements for cranial nerve inflammation?
I'm taking like GABA, B12, zinc, um, lemon balm, melatonin.
So the two most important supplements that I would say can help you is propolis and curcumin.
Oh yeah, I'm taking propolis.
Are you
Yeah.
taking curcumin?
No,
Can you get that one?
I can try.
So two people from New Zealand have popped up. And Healing with Ruby says, I'm in Auckland, but my father drives to Nelson regularly. He can drop her off supplies. So I would love for you to connect with these two folks, Healing with Ruby and Sierra underscore FAE. Sierra underscore FAE. If you both, Sierra and Ruby, you can message Alicia McRae right now, just so that she has your contact. It would be amazing to have some support for someone who's bedridden and really struggling. And any brain shots could help you, like nerve shifter shot can help you. And you know, um, even have you done like the breathing light meditation?
Yeah, I've done it a few times.
Keep doing it. Keep building your faith. You had faith enough to come on here today and ask your question, and two people showed up on this live who are near you and who are willing to help you. If that doesn't build your faith, what can, Alicia? Does that help you to connect a bit more?
Yeah, it does.
I hope you can feel the love pouring out for you in the comments. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm sending you lots of love. And just keep praying more. Remember that God never, never, ever walks away from you. Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Do you know the poem Footprints in the Sand?
What's that? Sorry.
Do you know the poem Footprints in the Sand?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm going to read it to you. So, it's one of my favorite poems when I have struggled with my faith. Um, it really, really helped me. So I'm going to read it to you right now. One night, a man had a dream. He dreamed he was walking along the beach with the Lord. Across the sky flashed scenes from his life, and for each scene he noticed two steps of footprints in the sand, one belonging to him and the other to the Lord. When the last scene of his life flashed before him, he looked back at the footprints in the sand. He noticed that many times along the path of his life there was only one set of footprints. He also noticed that it happened at the very lowest and saddest times in his life. This really bothered him, and he questioned the Lord about it. Lord, you said that once I decided to follow you, you would walk with me all the way. But I have noticed that during the most troublesome times in my life, there is only one set of footprints. I don't understand why, when I needed you the most, you would leave me. The Lord replied, My son, my precious child, I love you, and I would never leave you. During your times of trial and suffering, when you see only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. Can you feel that, Alicia?
A little.
He has not left you. He is with you. Look it up on the internet if you find it. Footprints in the Sand poem.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Is there anything else we can do to support you?
Um, I'm not really too sure. I'm just struggling a lot financially as well.
Have you ever started a GoFundMe?
No.
Do you have any friends in the MM community who might set one up for you that we can share it on all our socials to help you raise money?
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Okay, well, if you want, Alicia, DM me and I'll connect you to some people who can help you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and we'll go from there. And I don't want to stress you out by talking too much because I know it's hard. But I'm sending you lots of loves and lots of love. And we can all Venmo you, even if it's just like $1 each or $5 each to try and get you some money. Hopefully, if you can send me your Venmo or any payment information, I will share it and hopefully raise some money for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I'm sending you lots and lots and lots of love, honey.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I so feel for her. I'm going to say a special prayer for Alicia, just to say, dear God, please, we ask you to intervene in Alicia's healing right now, to ask her, to support her, to protect her, to allow her family to see her truth, to ask for the angel of strength, to give her strength so she can keep healing, and to give her more power and support to speak her truth, to speak her voice, and to be heard, and to send the angel of free will to her, to allow her free will to be done. Whew. Sending deep hugs, deep support, deep love. Amen. And I pray that all of you have an amazing evening. Take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.